Have you ever walked into a room and felt like the only one asking, "Is this it?" Like everyone else was comfortably distracted, talking about shows, gossip, trends, but deep inside you felt like you were screaming and no one could hear you. Maybe you've stopped trying to explain yourself. Maybe you've started to wonder if you're the problem, or worse, if thinking too much has made life harder, not easier. You're not alone, and you're not broken. You might just be awake in a world that rewards sleepwalking. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly." There's a silent epidemic happening, not of illness, but of resignation. People who feel too much, people who think too deeply, people who, somewhere along the line, quietly gave up. Not because they were weak, but because they saw too clearly what others refused to see. We live in a time of infinite noise, but not much meaning, endless opinions, but very little wisdom. In a society obsessed with productivity, appearance, and shallow validation, the ones who ask why are often seen as inconvenient. They're labeled sensitive, overthinkers, pessimists, when in truth, many are simply philosophers who never had a name. This video is for the ones who see the cracks in the system, the ones who can't just be happy with surface-level answers, the ones who carry invisible weight because they carry perspective. People like you. You might not realize it yet, but the fact that you even notice what's wrong, that you ask uncomfortable questions, that's not a flaw. It's a gift, a painful, isolating gift, but one the world desperately needs. Let me tell you a secret history. The great minds we now admire, many were outcasts, some were jailed, some killed, many died misunderstood. Dietrich Bonhoeffer resisted the Nazis with nothing but his pen and faith. He was executed at 39, and he warned us in terrifying clarity, stupidity is a more dangerous enemy of the good than malice. Bonhoeffer believed that stupidity wasn't just ignorance, it was surrender, the surrender of thought, the outsourcing of conscience. And when entire societies begin to do that, evil doesn't need to knock. It walks right in. Look around today. We are over-informed, but under-reflective. We consume more than any civilization in history, but ask fewer questions than ever before. Algorithms dictate what we see. Influencers tell us what to value. News outlets shout not to inform, but to inflame. And those who speak calmly? Who challenge the herd? They're shadow banned, ignored, or mocked. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. He wrote that the vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, because it's easier to believe what is loud than what is true. Here's the real trap. When you notice all this, when you see the decay of truth, the theater of leadership, the emptiness behind power, it becomes tempting to pull away, to withdraw, to say, "Why bother?" And slowly, without realizing, you stop trying, not just with others, but with yourself. You start settling. You shrink your thoughts to fit the room. You wear masks to avoid conflict. You pretend not to care because caring feels too heavy. But here's the twist. That quiet resignation, that's exactly what the system wants. A society that rewards conformity will always punish depth, because true thought disrupts the illusion. So what do? Do we numb ourselves and play along? Or do we risk feeling again, risk thinking for ourselves, even if it hurts? Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But what he didn't say was that it's also the most terrifying, because becoming who you truly are means peeling off the layers that made you feel safe. It means grieving the version of yourself that others approved of. It means standing alone sometimes, but it also means waking up. To feel deeply is not a weakness. It's a superpower in disguise. To think critically is not pessimism. It's a form of courage. You were never meant to be like everyone else. You were meant to ask the questions they're afraid of, to hold a mirror to the world, even when the world looks away. Because the moment you stop doing that, the moment the thinkers go silent, is when stupidity wins. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." You don't need all the answers, but you do need a why. Maybe your why is small right now. A quiet urge to keep learning. A feeling that there's more to life than what we're sold. A refusal to go numb. That's enough. That's where revolutions begin. So if you've been quiet lately, if you've been tired, discouraged, or questioning your place in all this, don't give up. Don't let the world convince you that thinking is a curse, or that feeling deeply is something to suppress. You are not alone in your depth. There are more of us than you think, scattered, quiet, observant, but here. And we're not giving up, not now, not ever, because once your mind has opened, no lie, no noise, no system can close it again. Subscribe to Mind Nocturne, for those who think, for those who feel, for those who refuse to sleepwalk.